We gonna give you something fun, so we can reach it in and out, in and out, in and out.
We wanna jump through the funk like we got no break. I'm DJ Rock and I can pass the jet. But you get down with the rappers from the east to west. This party please, that party please. I'll funk along with the greatest to be. This DJ Rock with the master beat. But the boogie is the sound that moves your feet. Somebody say, get up, get up. Somebody say, get up, get up. You party good, you going down. You compliment this funky sound. The funk is here, so you can groove. We want to make your body move. And that brother there, his name is Dyke. He's gonna hit you with the rest so you can look it tonight. I say downtown shopping with some fashion in mind. Just listen here closely while I tell you my line. I'm Slick Dyke, can be very naughty. I'm known by the name of Sporty Shorty. When checking out the others that dress so mean, they put me in the mind and when Mr. Claudine. But Calvin Klein seems to come through until East Sailor Red walks in the GQ. But that's not it, they still want more. So I send them down to Studio 54. Say Jordache, Boy, show these tears that soon. I've got jeans that make the tune. When you smile in your style with a mild profile, it doesn't work a picture out of can I do now. And you act at the stove, acting just like a jerk. But all they want to see is your body work. Work your body, work your body, work your body. Work your body. Work your body, work your body, work your body. Work your body, work your body, work your body. Work your body, work your body, work me up.
You just listen to the sound of the funky bass. Like little boy blue, come throw your horn. They gonna boogie on the down to the break the song. Like a party over here, a party over there. We got a party on in this atmosphere. You just wiggle your neck and stop the beat and boogie on down to the funky beat. Well, they call me Fish, and that's my name. And funkin' around, it is my game. So funky's in the thing, you gotta have what it takes. And if you can't funk, then no time to be. So down some squares, you better get live, cause everybody's trying to get funk for time. And this is what you need, and that's a fact. And with this, you don't need no just take a hunch and boogie on down with the rest of the fun. You should be bumping your behind all in the air, all over the web, just everywhere. And if you're on the dance floor and if you can't hang, just sit on down and let us shake our thing. And if you're still sitting down and can't shake your rump, holla, pump, 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 pump me up. Shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. You got to shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. Everybody go. Shake that thing, shake that thing. Bump it on up, bump it on up. Shake that thing, shake that thing. You got to shake that thing. I'ma put you on down on the one so we can all get together and have some fun. I'm killer here and I'm killer there. I'm telling you now. Like Einstein, the mastermind, all the women thought that he was shot. Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they never miss a beat, they're right on time. Like Fat Albert when you wanna eat, it takes a lot of focus to get him out of his seat. When the gang is down at the junkyard, dumb Fat Albert to eat. Into the book of the book, like Tarzan and Jane, they'll dance to the beat, and boy and cheat, they'll stop in the beat. If the deal's sitting down and you can't get up, holler, pump, 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 pump me up.
Commercial for you real quick.
Friday!
And kick it. Boom! Get in the studio real live.
Peace and love.
It ain't coming on? There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's all good. We'll pause that and keep it moving. Queen, you working out this morning, aren't
I'm
you, baby?
so happy. Funky Friday.
Come on, y'all, get a queen a big round of applause for working it out this morning. She got the workout on.
Super
if you want to
Friday.
see you work it, the workout on. If you want to see you work it. So, Queen, how do you
Big
get that?
girls drop it.
So big girls drop it.
Big girls drop it.
Big girls drop it. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Big girls drop it. What does that mean? You know, when you get big, you gotta drop it.
You gotta drop it.
You gotta drop it like you're hot.
You gotta let it roll.
Don't let nobody take your spot.
Don't let nobody take your spot. Don't let them
Shake
jockey for
that
your
fat
spot.
off.
Shake that fat.
And if you
Shake
got
that
a lot,
fat.
you got a lot.
And you just shake it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
It becomes appealing after a while.
Well, they say shake it, don't break it. It took
Shake
you more
it
than 9
because
months
it's
to make
revealing
it.
already, so make it appealing.
Exactly. All right. So listen. Welcome to the
Make it
Piece
tight.
of the Morning Show on Funky Friday,
Funky
right
Friday.
here on www.voxwave.com. So check it out. Go check us out live online at www.voxwave.com. If you watch us through social media at the moment, get the full view, the whole package, so you can see the
Right.
shakes, you can see the bakes, you can even see the earthquakes when we bring the music down. When we turn the roof off the mother, turn the roof off the mother, turn the roof off the mother. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, you know, we want to keep on celebrating this International Women's Month. And to kick that off today, we want to celebrate none other than my sister, my mother, my queen, Aya Sudebe, who was featured this month in an international magazine online. You can go check her out at Soul Central Magazine. That's right, Soul Central Magazine. The queen is featured with a 4 or 5 page spread. International.
They say I'm the inspirational person of the month
Wow.
in the world is Queen Aya Sudebe. Can you believe that?
That is powerful. Congratulations.
Thank you, peace and love.
And you were
Thank
just
very-
featured in another magazine, another international magazine.
This
In
month.
Africa. That magazine's out, Soul Central magazine's out of UK, United
Yes.
Kingdom, correct? Over in Europe. But this other magazine that you were in, that you were featured in,
I'm in now.
that you're in now, is coming out of Africa.
Yes, it's actually coming out of Morocco and France. Those are where the two offices are located.
Wow.
In Rabat and Paris. And it's an international magazine. The first one was in French that featured 10 pages of me, and this one is in English, featuring 5 pages with all the presidents, the first ladies of all African presidents are in the magazine as well. Women doing powerful things across the world.
Wow, and you...
So I'm honored. I'm so blessed and humbled by this.
But it just, it really goes back to, it starts at home. And the great home of William H. Johnson Jr. and Madeline Johnson that really allowed you to start. You just did it. You just showed up on the scene, a bright light, and just have been beaming ever since.
Yeah.
And allowed all of those energies to just use you. And be a vessel.
Yes.
You allowed the power of God to use you. And that's what we have to do today. That's what we've got to allow the power of God to use you. Just allow that energy that's already inside of you. Just let it flow.
Yeah, I say magnify. When people say I pray, I don't know what to pray for, or I don't know who to pray to. One thing Selassie always said out of Ethiopia, never judge or dispute another person's religious beliefs. Whatever they believe, let them hold on to that. Whatever you believe, you just live that. And that should be enough. The demonstration of your lifestyle proves or not what you're about. I say that to say that when you're praying, the main thing is to give thanks. Give thanks in advance for what hasn't even happened yet. Which proves that you have faith that something great is on the way.
That's right. That you're using your power.
That's using your power. The other way of praying is by saying, illuminate yourself in me. This great, magnificent, positive, strong, powerful feeling, light, whatever it is, illuminate that in me. Magnify that in me. Manifest that in me. Let me teach and prove and show that this God is alive in me by my actions every day, by what I say every day, what I do, where I go, who I keep company with, how I behave, what I say out of my mouth. These are the things that we need to be doing today. This is the Wakanda Nation attitude.
Wakanda.
And no matter what anyone says about Marvel or the amount of billions or millions of dollars that are being made behind the movie, there's a subliminal effect that this motion picture concept has had on black people as a whole across the world can never be retracted, refuted, or disputed. It is already out. Change has already started to take shape and form. There's nothing anyone can do about it but jump on a doggone bandwagon.
Come on, get on board.
We recognize we're kings and queens. We're cosmic manifestations. We are from out of this world. We are controlled by the sun. We don't need spray and cream to live and be in the sun. Remember, we were those hardworking people who built everything. Washington, D.C. today is black people from yesterday. Chicago is from black people from yesterday. When you look at the people who are being celebrated right now and the women across the world, Lorraine Hainsworth, these people who have jumped up and made moves that today women have got the advantage over now because somebody stepped in front and knocked down a door, opened a window. We're living in a time where the negative forces, thank goodness, has recorded every horrible act they commit. When there was no photograph, no camera, they drew pictures of it. They drew pictures to depict when they threatened to lock the black woman back up and make her a slave again because she wouldn't feed the white woman's baby with her breast. She jumped out the window, so they drew a picture of her jumping out of the window. Every single thing they've done, they've recorded it. Why can't we record every good act we do?
Start to record, and that's why we got to push it, pump it, promote
record everything your children do.
That's
every
right.
good deed they commit, every piece of awareness, every accolade, pat on the back they got. Make it a big deal for them so they can see their power.
That's right.
Their value, their worth. Start now. Don't just tell them about eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Tell them about the vagina and the penis.
That's right.
Tell them about the power of those vehicles. Tell them about the poop hole. Tell them about how to protect their bodies. Tell them about why not to eat sugar, that it causes cancer. And today on Holistic Sexual Healing and Family Lifestyles, Living Proof Family Works, I'm going to give you some what we call remedies if you want to try. Things that will help you if you have cancer or your blood is extremely toxic. Or you just want to turn over a brand new life, be hot and proud and powerful. Peace and love.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I always love my mama.
She's my baby girl.
That's right, that's right. So you heard the Queen and how important it is for us to be able to focus on the energy that is within us. Allow us to continue to grow and fly and thrive. Prayer is so important in being in tune with yourself. The sun, the water, those two things that keep us alive. 75% of the earth is water. So listen, want to touch base with you on a few positive stories, a few things that are happening. Speaking of communications and pushing and promoting positive things. You've seen this brother. He's a comedian. His name is Byron Allen. And he often brings up shows, but he's always bringing people on to promote positive energy, positive things. And he just recently, to a lot of people's surprise, happens to be an African-American male who just bought the Weather Channel for $300 million. He purchased the Weather Channel from what is believed Bain Capital and Comcast were part owners as well as the Blackstone Group. And again, the $300 million. Now, the significance in this is the fact that we have now another African American who is making a move in the mass communications industry. And based on what Queen just said, in terms of our children, we must start to document those good things that we do. And we must promote. You know, they push and plug negative things all the time. If you look at World Star Hip Hop or any of those other stations or internet channels, Fox News, where it's always negative, just constantly pushing the negative out. Somebody doing something ratchet, somebody doing something cruel, somebody fighting. Well, why are we not sharing the Piece of the Morning Show right now? You know, we're talking about uplifting people. We're talking about praying. We're talking about drinking good water, alkaline water. We're
Eating good food.
Eating good food. Those are things that need to be shared. You be working out. We're funking it up. You know what I mean? So the heart should be rolling. The thumb should be strolling. And the shares should keep on controlling the airways because we have to take control over the means and the media that we have. And so, you know, shout out, hooray, to Byron Allen.
Hooray, hooray, hooray.
And whatever the negative forces may be looking to do, we thank you for controlling all things and making sure that we are able to come to a place of peace and love. So shout out to Byron Allen for purchasing the Weather Channel, and we look forward to hearing other projects that he's involved in as it applies to mass communications. Now, how about this? You've got to see this young man. I want you to
The coffee man, don't tell me.
Cam's Coffee Creations. This young brother, 9 years old.
9 years old.
At birth, Camden Myers suffered a traumatic brain injury, and as a result has experienced some serious developmental challenges. So what did he do? This brother went and created his own business, a pop-up shop, Cam's Coffee Creations. Listen.
9 years old.
9 years old. Boy. And not only did he create the business, but he created a business that helps to employ people with special needs at 9 years old. The brother's 9.
He sees the value. It starts at home.
It starts at home.
It starts at home. He sees the value. Why? His parents showed it to him. They showed him the value of life. They showed him the value of humans. They showed him the value of the power of spirituality and helping. Helping is heavenly. They showed him the power of helping. That did it.
I tell you, I talked to a young lady this morning who is taking social emotional learning into the classroom and teaching school systems how to raise children by benefiting from their strengths and tapping into their beings, mindfulness. you know, being focused on self from a positive, nurturing, and as you said, visualizing those positive things that you want to see come into existence. And it is having remarkable results. We're going to have her on the show. And but what made me think about it was she jumped out and started her own business. But the way that she was able to do that is because her grandmother was Miss Butch and Sissy off of West Washington Street in a small city by the name of Annapolis, Maryland. And her grandmother and grandfather had their own corner store.
Yes, they did.
You know, and so they got a chance to, it starts where?
At home.
At home. You know, so working with your young people and encouraging them to pursue their dreams and goals, and you pursue yours as well. So,
yes.
You know, the time is 9:35, so we want to be able to get right and get live and funk it up real quick so we can take this shift and come on back to the Holistic Sexual Healing and Family Lifestyles. Give us a call at 240-719-2560. We're about to order up another batch of these Piece of the Morning Show t-shirts. So if you're interested in a Piece of the Morning Show shirt, give us a call at 240-719-2560. Ron, can we funk it up, baby, this morning? Y'all know. And guess who's coming on the show? Any Trouble Funk fans out there? Big Tony. Big Tony's coming to the Piece of the Morning Show, baby. That's right. And you know that big comedy jam that's coming to town? Well, guess where the comedians will come to? Right here. Ow. Come on. That's right. So listen, peace and love. Welcome back to the Piece in the Morning Show. That was Trouble Funk, live and direct. As a matter of fact, we're going to have Big Tony in the studio very soon. That's right. Right here on boxwave.com, we will have Big Tony of Trouble Funk right here in the studio. From all over the world, Trouble has played now. And guess what? They're going to be right here with us. So we talked earlier today about just how important it is to be in tune with yourself, how important it is to have that inner faith, how important it is to visualize, pray, and born and speak those things you want to see come into existence. And those thoughts, those negative things and people that are around you, shake them off like you shake that weight off like you saw the Queen just doing, right? So, Queen, speaking of shaking it off and making sure that we are able to get to the next level from a health perspective, it is now time for Holistic Sexual Healing and Family Lifestyles by the Queen herself. That's right. As a matter of fact, she also talked about having a video that teaches men how to have
more than one wife.
There you go.
And because really the women outnumber the men almost 8 to 1, if not better in America. And Atlanta, Georgia is proof of that. We have to do something to engage our children in fatherhood, true parenting. So the realistic view is if the men are outnumbered by the women at such a high rate, then it's only obvious that women who have husbands should or could be willing to share their husbands with a man.
Y'all might not have caught our first week shows, but on our first week of shows, the Queen dropped the bomb on the Black Man crew now and said, sisters, share your man, right? So now let me just bring it on back. So Queen, go ahead.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is because
look at the numbers.
The children need parenting. They need both parents.
So let me just stop you for a moment because I want us to understand the significance of what we're talking about. Think about, this is 2018. I graduated from high school in 1988. And in 1989, 1990, the world was calling the District of Columbia the murder capital of the world because they had eclipsed over 450 homicides in 1 year. That was just in the District of Columbia. So now take that 30 years later, and we're still having record numbers of homicides, even though the homicides have dropped. But in Baltimore City, in Kansas City, in Oakland, in Jacksonville, Mississippi, in Richmond, Virginia, all of these places, major urban centers, have African-American men who've been killed between the ages of 17, 16, and 25 years old. And a lot of those men had children. So who's raising those children?
Where's the father? Where's the real male image? We need that. In our society as a culture, we need the male image in the family. We thrive on family. We thrive on connectedness. We thrive on pregnancies, additions to the family. We want to know who's the father. And if the father, the innate father of the child, is not present and unable or unwilling to rear the child properly, then it's up to the mother to do that or seek support if you cannot find a good brother program, a big father's program, a big brother's program. Then perhaps you can seek marriage in a home where the man already knows how to be a good father, a good provider, an educator, a lover, and know how to have fun and bring about cohesiveness in a family vibration with more than one wife. So there goes two wives in a family. If in addition a wife will say, honey, I think we should get another wife and bring her into the home with us and our son, and you can impregnate her and we can work together. Some women are already willing to do that. Other women, it's mine. I say to you very frankly, you were not born with a woman's name on your male organ, and therefore it does not belong to any woman. It belongs to you. That's very, very important. Children need fathers, and I say that with all honesty. I want to talk to you about cleansing. In order for you to recognize any of the things that I'm saying to be legitimate, to have a validity, you will need to detox yourselves if you are toxic. Because if you are toxic, you will disagree with me. If you are on your way to cleansing, you will agree with me. But if you're totally toxic, you're not going to agree. You're going to own the man or own the woman. And you're going to want to be violent when anything changes. So the man has to now, to fulfill his needs as a man, a spiritual God, he has to fake out that he's going somewhere he's not. And it's not always, and most often, it is not about the booty. It is not about outside physical relationships. It's about wholesomeness. It's about completeness. It's about realizing other people's goals and objectives without shortcoming your own.
The win-win-win.
It's about
family.
Sharing,
Wow.
loving, caring. And we need to keep our people together. I'm a person who, frankly, I have seen squirrels and all kind of animals live together because I've had them. But my squirrel never impregnated my ferret. My dog never impregnated my cat, and yet they're all animals. You get my picture.
Although my son wonders how the dog let the cats just take over.
Because he's mighty and he's a hunter and he doesn't need.
You don't even have the children. You got all these cats around here, you know.
Well, he's happy with them. The point I'm making, people, is that when we detox, we see things better. Always drink from a clear drinking glass. Because a dark glass, you'll never see there's some smut in the water or some thin hairs or something. But when you have a clear glass, you can see if there's something in it. So we want to do blood cleansing. Get your pen and pencil. If you want to call us, our number is 240-719-2560. With your pen and pencil, you want bittersweet herb, burdock, chickweed, bittersweet, then burdock, B-U-R-D-O-C-K, then chickweed. It's spelled just like it's pronounced, chickweed. Also, dandelion, echinacea, hyssop, H-Y-S-S-O-P, hyssop, nettle, sassafras, sorrel, red clover, yellow dock. These herbs help to clean the blood from excessive mucus and bacteria. While you're detoxing, it's very important to keep up your iron intake, blueberries, blackberries. Okay? It's all dark things. All dark red and brown things have iron. All yellow things, calcium. What magnesium, sweet potato. You have to learn these things so that you'll know how to provide for yourself and your family. When you detox, your ears work better. Your eyes are clearer. Your voice is clearer. The mucus is gone. You sleep better. Oh, for goodness sake. You start having visions. Do you realize how many people go to bed every night and never have a vision or a dream? Because they're clogged up. And if they do, it's a nightmare. Don't give your children heavy foods after 7 o'clock p.m. Light fruits, snack, nothing heavy. Get them off the sugar. Study the 149 reasons why we should not eat sugar, which I'm going to bring to you next Friday. Why you should not eat sugar and what it does to the body. Get rid of the cancer-producing agents. Advertising donuts. Why? Because they cause cancer. So does the donut industry have a hand into the pharmaceutical industry? Does the sugar industry have a hand in the pharmaceutical industry? Because if you eat one, you have to take the other. If you get sick from cheese and excessive meats, sugars, and salts, you have to take the pharmaceutical drugs. So then you're staying on drugs. Your body's getting weak, your cravings are getting stronger for the wrong thing, and your attitude is very unlike Funky Friday. It is not asset-based. So I encourage you and reiterate, blood cleansing, bittersweet, burdock, chickweed, dandelion, echinacea, red clover, sassafras, sorrel, nettle, and yellow dock. Don't worry about the tea being bitter. Think about the sweet reaction you'll have when you see the loss of weight, the loss of depression, the loss of anxiety, increase of energy, increase of joy, better speaking tone, better attitude and personality, more jovial, looser, lighter, more flexible. Don't you want that life? And if at the end of that you want to have some sexercise, well, exercise for love. Peace and love.
I know that's right. Then if you want to have some exercise for love. Yeah, give it to him, baby. Yeah, that's right. Right.
Thank you so
No doubt
much.
about it. Oh, thank you, Queen. Thank you, Mom. So listen, give us a call at 240-719-2560, 240-719-2560. If you have a question for the Queen, if you know what I mean, we got Ron over there. We want to thank our good engineer, this brother, man. We've got the vibration. It's just so powerful. It's so strong. And he's just a beautiful brother. So thank you, Brother Ron.
Hey, people watching.
Hey, we got people checking us out all over the place. So we appreciate the worldwide audience that is following the Peace in the Morning show. So over the past week, there have been, actually it's been the last 2 weeks, you know, we've seen some very disturbing instances with violence. In Austin, Texas, they just picked up a man who had been sending packages and bombs and exploding that actually killed people, tripwires in the state of Texas, in the city of Austin, Texas. And as a result of that, when you recognize that people are doing these types of things all over the place, all over the country, and being, in some cases, supported, then you know that it is time for us to circle the wagons. And when I say circle the wagons, I'm talking about what the Queen just mentioned. First of all, prayer and love. Because love is going to conquer all, but it's an action. It's an action. It's something that you take from the inside, that you share with others, and you don't hold back, and you're not displeased or unhappy because somebody else is thriving. It's time for us to bring that together. We've got to come together at all costs. So I want you to hashtag unity at all costs. Unity at all costs. Because we must unify our resources. We must unify our prayers. We must unify with people who want positive things in their lives. And those who don't, then let them get their lives together and get themselves together, but don't have them continuously bringing that around you, your children, your family, because those negative spirits are out there and they're attaching themselves to the work. They're attaching themselves to the vibe coming off the television.
Clothes. They're in your
attaching
clothes.
themselves to all those things.
They're in your clothes, your food. They're in your car. They're everywhere. You have to know it and identify it so your children can be able to identify it. They're in books. It's a subliminal kind of teaching. They don't want you to know they're teaching perverted sex in the cartoons, but if you watch the cartoons, you'll see all the physical parts and all the negative things in the behavior right on the picture, right on the books.
That's right.
You have to take time out to study clinical assessment of mass media, the effect mass media has on the human brain. Think about it. And when Darius is talking about why don't we push the Peace and the Love and Peace in the Morning show, simple. You can put it on LinkedIn, YouTube. You can go and get it and put it on your Facebook page. You can put it on your Twitter page. You can put it on any form of social media. You can put it in email and send it to all your email links. Let people know something positive is happening. And if you have something positive and powerful to say, or you're doing something positive in the community, feel free to contact us. We'll bring you on the show and expose what you're having, what you're doing to other people. Let other people join in and support what you're doing. We need to support each other in our positivity. Be creative, be positive, create positive things.
That's right. That's right. And we're just so grateful. The young lady I spoke with this morning, Miss Ashley, talked about how gratefulness is such a powerful tool to be grateful. You know, and
It's
so,
everything.
And I want us to think about that. We're gonna come back and share gratefulness as our closing for today. But there's some women that you talked about, Mom. Some black inventors that were females.
Yeah, I did.
And we want to be able to, as we wrap up and start to go down that path, we have one more week of International Women's Month, but we're going to celebrate women all year. You know, we've watched the resurgence of the woman throughout the world, and we're so excited that women are taking a stand and that men are stepping forward and now taking up for and protecting women. But it took women to do it for themselves first. And so we're just very pleased that, you know, we're starting to see this resurgence of women and no longer allowing men to, or anyone else, because you even have women in the position where they're supporting the destruction, you know, and dismantling of women and womanhood. And so we thank those who are taking a stand, you know, for doing so. One of the things that we also witnessed last week, and I want to share it, there's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Freeman Hrabowski. Dr. Freeman Hrabowski is the president of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County College. And this university is the honors college for the state of Maryland, which basically means that it has the highest academic standing and scholarship programs under its roof. And Dr. Hrabowski happens to be a black man who has been in charge, the president, since 1992. Now, one of the things that you just saw, the greatest upset, they're saying, in sports history, where UMBC knocked off the #1 overall ranked team in the March Madness tournament. So all my basketball fans out there, all the sports fans, you got a chance to see that they beat them by not 5-10, but they beat them by like 20 points. 20 points. And then they lost a close game by less than 5 or 5 or less to Kansas State. So they didn't make it into the Sweet 16. But let me tell you about Dr. Freeman Hrabowski. So you all know the names of LeBron James and Michael Jordan and Dr. J. You know these names. Kobe Bryant, okay? But do you know who Dr. Freeman Hrabowski is? So Dr. Hrabowski started a fellowship at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And the fellowship that he started brought African-American boys to the college and gave them a full scholarship from the bachelor's to the master's to a doctorate degree in a math and science. He did that for years. And then there were people from other parts of the community who were saying it's unfair that this program is strictly African American, and under threat of being sued, instead of going through that, he opened the program up for everybody. And so now it's not just designated for African American males, and the reason why he did that, because African American males are so underrepresented. One of the reasons are so underrepresented in the scholarly math science fields. So he continued to push on. He was recently ranked by U.S. News and World Report as one of the top 7 college presidents in the world, in the United States. Top 7. So that's with all the other colleges and universities that you can think of that you respect and have high regard for. He also just this year was acknowledged by U.S. News and World Report as being in the top 100 of Time Magazine, top 100 most influential people. The reason why I want you to understand and know this name, Dr. Freeman Hrabowski, is because we need to change who our children idolize from being somebody outside of the home to looking inside of themselves and feeling good about themselves, like Wakanda made us do. And if you have somebody who's pushing for education, who's pushing for African American males to be scholars, to be men of science and men of math, who's pushing to make sure that our communities, he also went into Baltimore City and led the task force, statewide task force, to resurrect Coppin State College. And if anyone knows Baltimore City and Coppin State College, that is one of the most challenging parts of the city, but it is a place where children who were not potentially able to get into other schools could get into Coppin and still get a quality education. And Dr. Freeman Hrabowski led that task force to resurrect Coppin, and now Coppin has new facilities, new programs, a charter school and other schools that are tied to, so they have students that are before college age, or I should say elementary school age children, that are now on a college campus learning. And so, make this name a household word. Dr. Freeman Hrabowski. Learn about him, share him on your social media pages, push him out there, hashtag Dr. Freeman Hrabowski, because this brother's doing a phenomenal job in our community, and I want us to be grateful. And so on this note, my queen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, our good brother Ron. And I'm going to close on gratefulness.
Yes, great.
Our peaceful moment today is focused on being grateful. We deal with so many things, there's so many weights, there's so many pressures that we apply to ourselves through jobs, through owning a home, through cars, material things. But I want us just to take time out to be first and foremost grateful for our parents. I want us to be grateful for our grandparents, for those good and righteous ancestors that saw something that was not visual in the physical form, but they saw a time when we were going to be okay. I want us to be grateful for the people who take stands and people who get attacked and even slaughtered or killed for us to be free. I want us to be grateful for the people who open doors for us. I want to be grateful for the people who say thank you. I want us to be grateful for our children. I want us to be grateful for the very little things in our lives. Adopt gratefulness. And I want to thank the Brunson family for born in such a beautiful child in Ashley, that she would be of the mindset to create a book centered around gratefulness. So please, today, as we close out on the Peace of the Morning show,
Ooh, emotional.
I want us to remain grateful.
Grateful. Thank you.
This is
Give
Darius
thanks
A.
and
Stanton
praises.
with the Peace of the Morning show with Queen Aya Sudabe,
Mommy.
Delegate Darrell Bonds down the road in Annapolis making laws. Here we are on the Peace of the Morning show.
Peace of the Morning
be
show.
grateful.
Be grateful.
Funky Friday, baby.
Funky
Let's go to work. Here we go. You know how it is.